So I'm really interested in the individual experiences of people and how they understand their state or how they relate to their state and their nation. So this is originally why I started this book, because for me, the puzzle was, why would an ordinary person run to fight in a war? That doesn't make sense. When you had the capacity, there was space and time where many of these people could have fled their country. But instead you saw people flock by the thousands to the front line, even though they never held a weapon. And so for me, this says something about not just democracy or that freedom and independence, but something about an attachment to land, to people, to something larger than oneself. And so this is really what I want to explore in the book and what I want to preserve, as well as to teach people about. And maybe this is true in other contexts beyond Ukraine. At this point, we don't know this, as there have been no other studies, but I think it's really important to document. Even more important, the transcripts and the audio from my interviews will go into Ukraine's archives, or one of Ukraine's archives following this, in order to preserve these stories, and so further researchers can access them. In addition, I'm currently, or will be, working on a documentary as a way to make this information more publicly available, as well as to preserve these voices for generations to come. I think this is an important way for general public who won't read my book, but are interested in Ukraine and also understanding Ukraine, will be able to get a taste of this, but also to better understand more seriously what it is at the individual level, what is happening in war and combat, and what also pushes people into war and combat when their lives are at risk. What this says about democracy, I think fundamentally, is it underscores the value that Ukrainians place on freedom, on independence, and their desire to see their country out of Russia's sphere of influence, but seen as an autonomous actor within global politics. And this is really what I think underscores all of my work, is trying to show this agency at the individual level, but underscore how this demonstrates Ukraine's agency and autonomy in global politics, as this is not how Ukraine has historically been approached.
And if